So about 2.5 years ago, I found a lump on my groin, and I'd always been very proactive about my health. And it was time for my physical, so I went to my internist and I had him look at it, and he said, "It's no big deal, don't worry, lymph nodes swell all the time, let's just keep an eye on it." And then a few months later, I had my annual with my OBGYN, and same thing. He agreed with the internist, no big deal, might be an ingrown hair, it's just, don't worry about it. And so I didn't. It continued to grow. And the following year, when it was time for my physical again, I asked, "Hey, it's still here. Do I need to worry about it?" "No, it's fine." And again, with my OBGYN, "Don't worry about it." I finally called my gynecologist back and I said, "It's really grown since I saw you 3 months ago. Will you take a look at it again?" And he did. And at that moment, he said, "I'll be right back." I had tumors in my neck, in my chest, in my stomach, in my groin, and it had invaded 40% of my bone marrow. Come up, people said, "Well, are you mad at your doctors because they didn't diagnose you?" And the answer is no, because had they diagnosed me 2.5 years ago, my treatment would have been so much different. It would have been more toxic and less effective than what has been developed now. There is a medicine working in me right now that is just killing the cancer cells, and it's leaving all the good cells alone. This is a tremendous breakthrough in the treatment of cancer. And I used all the skills I have as an investigative reporter to find out who's the best, and every one of them said, "Why would you leave St. Louis when Nancy Bartlett is there?" She travels the world teaching other lymphoma specialists the latest treatment. So we're very lucky. We have a world-class facility with world-class doctors here.
How did this all go down when you at work? Did you tell people? Did you keep it quiet for a while? I mean, how do you work and kind of deal with all this?
So as soon as I had to have a plan, because I needed to control the message, because I didn't want anybody to say something irresponsible to my children. And the only way to control the message is to be out in front of the message. I gotta tell you, the support of KSDK has been unbelievable.
How did your kids handle it? How they did with the whole thing?
So I sought out the advice of a child psychiatrist on what's the best way to tell my children. And he said, "You tell them mommy's going to be fine. And the best way to help mommy is to not worry about mommy. Do your homework, get good grades, just keep being you." So my daughter, in between texting, kind of looked up and was processing. She's more introverted and won't share her feelings. My son went to his guidance counselor the next day and said it was the dumbest thing he ever heard in his life. How can you tell me not to worry about mom? It's my mom. And so the guidance counselor called me and said, "Listen, Taylor said he needed to know when you're having a good day or bad day because his stomach's in knots."
Oh. So did you tell them, have you been pretty open with them as far as all that? Yeah.
Everything.
That's great. Yeah.
I will tell you that the Siteman doctors and researchers and nurses saved my life, but my girlfriends and my family and our viewers saved my spirit. And obviously I couldn't do this without my girlfriends. They when I was crumbling, they picked me up. When I didn't know I was crumbling, they held my hand.
Was there anything that helped you sort of spiritually, or through Judaism, through CRC, or through?
I went to go see Rabbi Susan immediately, and when you have this diagnosis, or any life-changing diagnosis, I think you question, did I do something wrong? Am I being punished? Yes! Yes! So I think my faith had a lot to do with how I got through this. And Rabbi Susan said, "We don't believe in a vengeful, angry God. We believe in a loving, forgiving God. You did nothing wrong. You have bad genes." Our faith teaches us to repair the wound
Mm-hmm.
to Kunal.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we all get to that path individually, and whether your way to repair the world is through the arts or through feeding the hungry,
Mm-hmm.
my path became very clear with my diagnosis. My way will be through Pedal the Cause,
Mm-hmm.
and through being a part of this grassroots, upstart organization that is going to fund life-saving treatments and cures, and it's going to start in St. Louis, and we're going to move the ball forward. And I believe that with all my heart. And so Bill Komen always says, we're on the 10-yard line in terms of this targeted treatment, in terms of this research. But if we can move the ball to the 50-yard line in our lifetime, we will have saved millions of people. It's great that non-Hodgkin's lymphoma has a targeted treatment, but now we have to find targeted treatments for all cancers, because this is really the future in cancer research. And that's what Pedal the Cause is all about. It's finding these targeted treatments that just kill cancer cells and leave the healthy cells alone. So last year, Bill Komen,
Who I know.
you know, it was just a wonderful man. He's really been my mentor. He came to me last year and said, listen, I'm starting this event. It's called Pedal the Cause. It's going to raise money for Zigman and Children's Hospital, and all the money raised is going to stay in St. Louis. Will you be the MC? And I said, of course. Thinking it'll just be another one of those worthwhile events that I take part in throughout the year in St. Louis. So that was in October, and the next month I was diagnosed with cancer. So the event, it's a fundraiser with a biking event thrown in. So the way it's structured is that you can ride 15 miles, 25 miles, 50 miles, or 75 miles. And the idea is that you get sponsors. So you want to raise money. And so there's certain levels. There's a $500 level and a $1,000 level. What I love about it is that 100% of what you raise or what is donated stays in St. Louis. 100% funds research at WashU's Genome Center, at Zigman, and at Children's Hospital. It stays local.